Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here with another quick Settlers of Kalguur video basically. Now, if you're like me and you've been leveling up your town like crazy, the King's March area for the new league mechanic, you're probably asking one question. Where is all the gold? How am I going to make all this gold? My town's eating through gold. We have a guy who's mapping that costs me 1,500 gold per hour to just have him do low-level maps. How do I get more gold? And I think I found probably the best way to get gold, especially if you are not necessarily super powered up yet and you're kind of just first getting into the mechanic. It's going to help you get some money. It's going to help you get some experience. It's going to help you get a ton of gold. So I've just ran 2 Exires here, and this is the level 70 Apex of Sacrifice, and I've earned a total of 12,000 gold from these 2 runs. Now, originally I was going to do this video after my first run. However, I didn't turn my microphone on. So, we all make mistakes. Now, before we hop into the loot here, because some of this stuff is actually worth quite a bit of money, I do notice that about 80% of you guys don't necessarily subscribe to my content. I don't really take any sponsorships for the most part on this channel. And so if you want to support the overall content here, the best way you can do that is just by hitting that subscribe button. And I tend to follow and do a whole bunch of different ARPG content. Path of Exile, obviously, Diablo 4, a little bit of Torchlight Infinite. And yeah, anyways. So hopping back into this, Exire Steps, for example, is a pair of boots that you can get. It's about like 18, 19 chaos or so, which is pretty good. You can also get these fragments as well. So I dropped these boots and this Mortal Rage at the same time. This is 5 chaos. And then, you can get like another one is 8 or 3. So all pretty good here. I did drop this as just like off of one of the bosses, 5C. And then here, this flash drops all the time. It's going to be about 3 to 4 chaos as well. So you can make quite a bit of money. So we're going to start off here. We're at 12,454. And let me just go run one again. And so in order to run this particular Exire, you're going to need sacrifice fragments. So sacrifice, these are going to be like pretty relatively cheap. Looks like maybe like you get 2 for a chaos in some of these. I think some of the market stuff here is like a little bit flipped around. And so pretty easy to buy these in bulk. Typically Midnight is the really expensive one. It's at like 1C, I believe, right now. All you have to do is put them in your map device, like so, make the little face, and activate. As you can see, you can also stack them up a ton in your thing, and so you can deal with it. Now, the reason why Exire is really, really good to run is because every single pack here is going to be, like every single monster, everyone, all of them, it only has blue and yellow mobs. There are no white monsters at all in Exire. I think unless you go and like somehow like get a loot box or something in here. And so you're pretty much going to find monsters that are more likely to drop gold. Now, higher tier maps do drop quite a bit of gold. Like I just ran a tier 16, did a whole bunch of content on it, and it gave me 7,000 gold. And so in order to kind of beat that at low tier content, I think it's going to be kind of hard to beat Exire. And it also makes me wonder, like, how good is this doing the Uber Exire version? We'll find that out, I guess, maybe in a future video. But yeah, this first boss here is 2 bosses. You want to kill one of them first and the other one enrages. And it's pretty easy to do. Just a note here, we're up about 2,000 gold already. Price check some of these real quick. 1C. I haven't really played the game in a few leagues. Maybe a couple of years actually at this point, so I don't know what's worth anything. Just gonna wait for him to spawn. And there we go. Make sure you like roll over them real quick to pick up any gold, and then off we go. Now, one thing that's kind of important to have in your build if you're going to do this run is that you want to have Reflect immunity if Reflect can kill you. And the reason you want that is because Exire herself has a mechanic that would cause 100% Reflect damage to be returned to the player. And, you want to do this super duper fast and brainless. And so you don't necessarily want to have to worry about doing a mechanic correctly and not hitting one of the 4 little adds. Especially if you're playing Lightning Strike, it's really annoying because your attacks go forward and then they also come back and like boomerang behind you, so it can kind of mess you up. Now, in this boss here, there's 3 bosses, and as you kill them, the other ones get powerful. You want to kill the lady boss first. You're going to roll up right up on her, nuke her down, and then roll over the mobs, pick up the gold. So at this point here, we're up to 17,000 gold. And so the way that I'm getting Reflect Immunity is pretty simple. You can get it on your passive tree. The Elemental Mastery will give you reduced reflected elemental damage. Your physical, reduce reflected physical damage, does help there. And then on the Pantheon, all you have to do is click Soul of Bugle, and that will give you an additional 50%. And I believe that just makes you immune, or maybe my like instant leech is covering for that. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let you know. But as you can see, lots of gold coming out of this. It's definitely relatively easy to do. You don't necessarily need to have a great build. You're going to get a lot of experience. Now, one thing to note with the experience too, this is also a pretty decent way to level up gems, because the level difference between you and what you're killing matters for your own personal experience. Like, you get a negative multiplier when you are higher level than things. However, that does not count for your gem experience. And so your gems will get the full juice every time. I always like to drop a portal down here in case something bad happens. You're just going to roll right in, smack Aziri around. Now, this is the one thing you're really hoping that she doesn't do, is this little summon phase. She'll summon dudes from around the room, and it kind of just takes up time. It's not good. So generally, I try to burst her right off the bat. She can do this like 2 or 3 times if you're very unlucky, or just take too long to kill her. And so, yeah. And what we're looking for her to do is basically split into 4 different elements. So she'll have the lightning arm, the fire arm, the mirror arm, and the spear arm, like she's doing right now. You don't really feel like you need to burst this, but I like to hit the one that has the fire arm or the physical spear. Look at the fire arm, so I don't have to dodge that. And I'm going to pop my cooldown here for this. Then hopefully she'll split again right away. And so this one here, the mirror one, if you hit it, you're going to take 100% reflect damage. And so if you're not immune, you will be spawning back in town real quick. As you can see, I can safely hit this because I have gone out and made myself immune to reflect damage. So one last one, which goes, ah! Well, she kind of played me there. So right now we're up to 19,900 gold. This is basically just from 3 runs. I haven't done any other content outside of this. You've watched me do this. And so that, I think, is a pretty good income of gold, especially if this is going to be something that you're a low-level player. Let's just finish her up, see what kind of loot we get. Okay, so once again, we get another flask here. These flasks, for the most part, used to be in every single build in the game. But it's just about 3 chaos. We earn about 20,000 gold across 3 runs. These are really, really easy to do, really, really fast. And hopefully this helps you build out your town in Kingsmarch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys again soon. Come by the live stream.